at the evidence of the case, and I'm like, okay, this doesn't look right.
And tonight we're sitting down with the wife of Maurice Franklin in her first interview since his release from jail.
Richmond County deputies arrested Franklin in September of 2019. He was accused of being involved in a drive-by shooting where no one got hurt. He had no criminal history, and cell phone evidence showed he wasn't in the area of the crime.
Still, he ended up behind bars for close to 2 years, many of his charges stemming from his alleged ties to the Crips gang. News 12 City Heiberger takes a look at where this went wrong.
Maurice Franklin faced more than 50 charges: aggravated assault, cruelty to children, weapons charges, plus 34 counts of violating the Street Gang Terrorism Prevention Act. Franklin's attorney tells us that adds up to more than 1,000 years in prison, 1,100 to be exact, all for a crime he says he was nowhere near.
I love him so much, and I told him, I'll fight for you. I'll fight for you to the very end.
Maurice Franklin reuniting with his wife after nearly 2 years apart. She spoke with us while waiting to pick him up from jail. What is the first thing that you're going to do when you see him?
Probably hug him all over.
His case related to a drive-by shooting that happened back in August 2019. No one was injured, but still, he faced 1,100 years in prison because investigators believe he's affiliated with the Crips gang.
He's not affiliated with any gangs in Augusta. That's all that needs to be known.
So Lynette Jones went to work, fighting for her husband's release every day. The strongest piece of evidence against him, witness testimony. Case records show the drive-by victim identified Franklin through Facebook, and witnesses told her they saw someone on the scene who matched his description. Former District Attorney Natalie Payne says Franklin and the victim knew each other, and phone records show they had talked before.
She knew who he was, but a lot of times on this street, people use street names. They don't use their government name.
But the strongest piece of evidence in the defense is Franklin's phone records. Franklin willingly surrendered his cell phone to investigators, and through their investigation, found his phone was more than 7.5 miles away from the shooting.
I come from a background where I don't see these type of things. I don't see, people getting locked up for something they didn't do. So when I seen it, I was just like outraged.
Prosecutors say while records do show he wasn't at the scene before or after the shooting, they say his phone had a gap in data from 4:36 to 5:25. The shooting happened at 5:20.
Certainly, the portrayal that this evidence existed and that we were just ignoring is a just bold-faced lie.
But still, when his phone did ping again 5 minutes later, he was still 7.5 miles away. His defense says 5 minutes would not be enough time to travel from the shooting scene back to his friend's house. In a statement, current District Attorney Jared Williams said the case fell apart when the witness changed her story. But Natalie Payne says victim recanting is common in cases like this.
If the information was the same as it was when I left office in December, then yes, I would believe he was wrongly set free.
237 days away from his wife and his children, finally ready to start life over again.
Right now, we just want our kids to be with their dad and basically build the bond back up, just get our family back together.
Investigators say they do believe Maurice has gang affiliation, but the law does not prohibit being in a gang. It only prohibits committing a crime while in one.
Interesting look there, Sydney. Now, Maurice's wife actually gave birth to their 4th child while he was in jail, which means he'll get to meet him for the first time today.
She also says before his arrest, they were working to start a nonprofit to help get kids off the streets. Right now, she says they're not focused on whether or not they'll file any lawsuits.
Much more news ahead after we get a realization of filling the fire chief.
I asked both attorneys for the city for an interview. They both declined. Meanwhile, commissioners meet Monday, and we'll get you those names and that info as soon as we can. After all, we didn't fight this for us. We fought it for you and your right to know.
Also this evening, a man is behind bars charged with killing 2 people in Johnson County. 22-year-old Daniel Brinson from Washington County facing 2 counts of malice murder. He's accused of shooting and killing 18-year-old Destiny Knight and Charles Garrett in Wrightsville 2 weeks ago. That was on April 23rd. He's in custody in Cobb County now, just outside Atlanta, on unrelated charges. It is an ongoing issue we've been covering for weeks. Businesses fresh out of the pandemic that need people to come to work with little or no luck finding anyone up for the job.
Right, today's job report shows us just how much hiring slowed down last month, and not just here, across the country. The U.S. added just 266,000 jobs. Experts expected 1 million. The unemployment rate rose a bit from 6% to 6.1%. This was the slowest improvement for jobs since January.
And we've heard from several local businesses that say they need more people to work.
News 12 Celeste Springer shows us new efforts on both sides of the river to help revive the workforce.
Many businesses tell me they're in desperate need of skilled labor. It's why the Columbia County Chamber of Commerce is trying to get more students behind a desk or underneath the hood of a car. For every nut and bolt.
Every day I'm out meeting people, and the number one thing they say is, find me some people to work.
There's a skilled laborer needed in the workforce. It's why the Columbia County Chamber of Commerce is partnering with local businesses to get high school students a peek into different jobs around town.
Really educating them on the types of businesses that are out there, the companies that are out there, and the type of jobs that they can do when they get out of high school.
It comes as Georgia and South Carolina deal with labor shortages. Governor McMaster, for example, just announced the state will cut certain pandemic relief for the unemployed to get people back in the workforce. But businesses like John Harris Body Shop and Southeast Restoration say they're happy to show some high school interns the ropes this summer.
There's a financial aspect to it. There's budgeting. There's business development, sales, marketing. So all of that goes into what makes a business, and we really want to try to expose as much as we can students to that concept.
Internships vary from administrative work, mechanics, construction to restoration, and they hope one high schooler participating could mean one more person in the workforce later down the road.
So we're hoping that this program continues to grow. I think there are over 20 businesses now. There's over 37 particular spots, and we're hoping that grows even further.
The interns who have been selected will have a award ceremony next Tuesday where they sign a commitment to each company that they'll be working for. In Grovetown, Celeste Springer, on your side.
Thank you, Celeste. We also checked with our local universities about internships. After a year of many college students missing out on these opportunities, the people over at USCA can tell us this summer things are looking up.
I had a virtual career fair this spring, and there were, several employers in that that came that expected to hire a lot. BMW came to that and had a lot of opportunities for interns. Picture looks better this summer.
Which is great news. Let's all get back to normal. USC Aiken says the Savannah Riverside is one of their biggest employers of graduates and interns. They are happy to report those internships open back up this year.
A different kind of celebration in Allendale in South Carolina.
That is what you call a look of surprise. I would even say shock, Fitz. This is Miss Melanie Driscoll, a special education teacher at J.D. Lever Elementary School in Aiken County. Today, she was surprised with a visit from State Representative Bill Taylor to honor her 50 years of service in education. We talked to Ms. Driscoll after the surprise about her experience as an educator. And, of course, we wanted to know, what is her favorite motto for her students?
I tell them you can do anything you set your mind to do. And that's something that I've governed my life by. Anything you set your mind to do, you can do. If it's in your head, put it in your heart, and it'll be there, and you can do it.
Some good advice from someone who knows. 50 years, wow. She's taught kids on every level from elementary to high school. She has the third longest active tenure in the Aiken County Public School District.
Pretty amazing. Her students have become parents.
Yeah, he's right.
Good for her.
That is awesome. Big congratulations to her for sure. We are heading into
Okay, first it was the toilet paper, then meat, and then ketchup packets, and now there's a shortage that's shaking us to the core here at News 12. Who's hungry?
Yeah, I know, but did you know this? Chicken wings. There's a chicken wing shortage. Our Tradisha Woodard shows us how it's affecting wing lovers and, of course, the wing business.
Whether wings or breast, fried or grilled,
cook until they fall off the bone.
ordering your favorite style of chicken may be a little harder to do.
Starting maybe in the last 3 months, we've started seeing the prices really rise.
Robert Williams is the owner of Alexander's Great Barbecue, and he says the price of chicken has nearly doubled.
We were buying them for $80 a case. Now they're $136 a case. Well, we would have to raise our prices to our customers.
He says instead of losing profit or charging customers extra money, they decided to temporarily remove wings from the menu.
Wings were actually one of our best sellers. We did offer them in different varieties, in different flavors. We actually have customers trying to figure out how we can get wings.
He says, but no matter where they look, prices remain the same.
It is affecting us a little bit in sales. We have noticed a small decrease in our sales over the last few months. I'm waiting for prices to go down. As of right now, they're still going up. They're not going down.
He says it's a decision they're making day by day, week by week. But as of right now, they'll just have to wing it. Tradisha Woodard, on your side.
And now I'm craving wings for dinner. You know, the expensive wings that no one can get, and it's, yeah.
And these places that serve only wings, they're really in a bad spot right now.
Yeah.
The prices are just tough.
It's weird to watch what has been in short supply. Chicken wings, did you ever think?
No, did not see that coming.
No.
Yeah.
No. Toilet paper, chicken wings.
Yeah, and try to build a new home right now with the wood prices.
Or fix a fence that your dogs are ripping apart. I know.
Let's have a look outside as we head over